my god, yes. With this sprint booster, this car is an absolute missile! Hello one and all, and welcome to Seen Through Glass. Today I am finally taking my Abarth 595 Competizione, codenamed Project Bipsoto, on track for the first time. Come here to Blyton Park because the legends at Alexander's Prestige are doing a track day for their customers, and they very kindly said I can join. Now, I have arrived a little bit late today, so most people are already out on track and we're going to be joining them very soon, but first up, a little bit of STG story time. Some of you may remember about 3 or 4 years ago when I used to own the original 695 Biposto, the car that basically inspired my project on this 595 Competizione. The first kind of track day I did in that car was here at Blyton Park. So if there's ever a place to kind of test out the modifications, the upgrades I've done to my 595, well, it's here. I don't actually really remember my experience from all those years ago. Maybe I will when I head out on track. But Blyton Park's basically a kind of purpose-built handling circuit. It's owned by Ginetta. It's not the most impressive circuit in the world. It's no Spa-Francorchamps, but it's a lot of fun. It's a great test for a little car like my Abarth. So yes, let's go get ready and hit the track. Don't worry, we are of course going to talk about this at some point, but preparations are underway. I want to get out on track, and first things first, we've got to install the towing hook, so I've got to be very careful. Open up all this lovely new Rosso Froco paint. Come on, there we go, perfect. Then this guy just goes in there somewhere. Where's the hole? Have I put that in the right place? Yes. Screws that in. I'm not actually planning on going off at any point, but you have to have this just in case you do go off and they can drag you out of the gravel nice and easily. Come on, why isn't that getting tight? Tighten! Tighten! It's forever screwing! There we go, okay, perfect. Then let's keep this somewhere safe inside the car with me. Okay, then let's put that somewhere safely in there. Yeah, perfect. And helmet on! It's time to get proper in here. Now, has been a few years since I've driven a 595 Competizione on track, let alone Abarth on track, and a few years since I've been here at Blyton Park. So the first few laps will just be familiarising myself with kind of my surroundings. Apparently it was raining quite heavily this morning, so the track is sort of damp in some parts, and we're just going to take our time figuring things out before we kind of dial up mine and the car's performance. But I'm so excited, and the sun is now coming out, so this should be epic. Sport mode on. I'm not going to use the sprint booster yet, maybe a little bit later once I'm more familiar with things. It's warm in here, so let's put this aircon on, and yeah, wish me luck. No way am I keeping the GT3 RS behind me today. Anyway, I think I've got to grips with the car and the track. The soundtrack in here is mad. Even though we've put the performance exhaust on, the intake is so loud. All I'm getting is P1 or Huayra-esque whooshing. It's kind of hilarious. Obviously I've got the helmet on, so you're going to hear more of what's going on than me. But yeah, it's all about the brakes this circuit, and I'm getting all the Italian hazards on every time I come on the brakes. They're blinky, blinky, blinky. But I can carry quite a bit of speed in. Oh my god, we're away. Quite a lot of understeer, but this new suspension is helping me out a lot. The car feels nicely flat through some of the faster stuff. It's just such a fun car to drive. Okay, this is not your ultimate track weapon, and there are ways to make this car more track focused, but I do still want it to be usable on the road, as this thing still is. I've just driven up here in relative comfort this morning, and now I'm out here, okay, definitely not competing with GT3 RS's, but having a brilliant time on the same track as a GT3 RS. And all this is the quick bit. Pay attention, Sam. Oh. One thing I do remember, or I do now remember, from my last experience here is lift off oversteer in these Abarth. Now this car does not have the limited slip diff like the original 695 Biposto had, something I may get fitted at some point, so we're not quite as good through the corners, but it's still so much fun. I'm going to keep using that word, aren't I? Fun. Now this corner I haven't quite figured out the quickest way through here yet. Oh, there we go. Maybe that was the best one I've done now. Now slowly wind it out. I'm leaning on these stock tyres quite a lot. Let's hope I can make it back to London after this. Oh, it's all getting a bit hot and frenzied in here. Very bumpy, this braking zone. Oh my god. It's just nimble, this car. And as long as you kind of knock that speed off, you can start to do some pretty quick and aggressive lap times and build some speed. Well, the one thing I haven't done yet is play around with the sprint booster. Not that I feel like I really need it, but next lap, let's give that a go. Hard on the brakes here again. Oh, I'm going to need a cool-off lap. So I'm going to do one lap with the sprint booster and then a cool-off, because things are starting to get a little bit warm. I can feel it in the brake pedal. Still running relatively standard brakes on here, even though they're in good nick. We should have gone up to fourth. Oh, he's made it! Now let's see if I can remember how to activate all this. So a little switch down here, so turn that on. Green, orange, yes, okay. And now my accelerator is going to be a lot more responsive. Not going to red, oh my god, okay fine, it's like mega responsive. Where's my traction control? That is now off. Here we go. Things are starting to get pretty serious in here. Oh my god, this sprint booster is insane! The pickup on the throttle pedal is mad! It's launching me out of every corner. I'm not quite ready for it. Okay, heavy braking, heavy braking. Oh, that brakes need a bit of help. Okay, clip that curve, clip this one, and oh my god, yes. With this sprint booster, this car is an absolute missile! Okay, it's maybe not quite as hooked up as the actual Biposto was, and that might be because of the limited slip diff through the corners. This sprint booster, revolutionary, unbelievable on track. I haven't used it once on the road, but now I'm here and it's on. Immediately I've noticed the difference between the sort of few laps I was doing without it and then turning it on. But the car in general is ace. Okay, brakes. I want to improve the brakes just to give myself a little bit, well, less fade. They're actually sort of perfectly good on a track like this. I don't feel like I need more stopping power, but I do feel like I want less fade, because that was maybe 4 laps, and yeah, things are starting to feel a little bit squidgy. Power, I don't think I need any more power. The original Biposto was only sort of 10 horsepower more than the old Competizione, and we've definitely achieved that, I think. So, oh, so good, honestly. Track days in cars this small and this relatively affordable, I'm going to say, I think are more fun than when you're in 200 grand supercars. There we go, I said it. Also, when they're your own car, it makes a big difference. You feel like you can kind of thrash your own car a bit more. Right, let's take a bit of a breather, give the car a bit of a rest, and then we'll come back out and start to play around with this sprint booster a bit more and see just how hard or how far we can push this car without rolling onto my roof. What a day. Thank you, Alexander's Prestige, for inviting me. Oh, the Challenge Stradale's going out. The CS is going out. That is so cool. Okay, well that means I'm just gonna now sit around and watch that for a bit. I kind of wanted to follow it. Should I go back out? I said I was gonna rest the car. He'll go out again, I'm sure. You better. So yes, let's get into it. Let's talk about the fact that there is a challenge Stradale here. This thing is amazing, apparently bought from Alexander's Prestige a few years ago and now being properly used out here on a track day. It makes me feel a little bit sad that I didn't make my 360, but I am having a ton of fun in the Project Biposto. It's just so cool to see and hear this thing. How it's getting away with the various noise limits on this track, I do not know. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And it's classic challenge Stradale spec. I adore this thing. I thought I'd quickly show you what else is here, because if you've seen any of my other videos with Alexander's Prestige, you'll know that they often have amazing cars in their showroom, because this is a customer event. All these cars were at one point in their showroom, so they're all pretty amazing and very varied. So yeah, let's have a spin around and see what's here. Now I have to say, I'm liking this Huracan Evo. I actually really like the spec, and actually the Evo in general, I think the slightly updated looks are just working for this car, and it's been sounding mega out on track so far. Lovely F-Type 400, obviously the old shape, but super cool to see any Jag on track. We've got a Mini GP3, Vantage V12S, an M3, a Cayman over this side, very nice 911 GTS, as well as a Turbo S. Of course, any track day, always going to see Porsches, including very nice 718 Cayman, M6 Cabriolet. I wonder how that's faring on track. That's a big old boat to be taking out on quite a small handling circuit like the one we've got here at Blyton. And then we've got an M3, a nice 911, I think that's a Carrera S, and then a GT4 with what looks to be pretty saucy exhaust down there. Well, despite the fact the sun has now fully come out, this evening is the England-Germany game, part of the Euros, and so lots of people are choosing to leave now so they can get back to watch the game at home. I'm not going to do that, because the more people that leave means the more track time I can have, and the more time I can have on an empty track. So yes, we're going to be heading back out in 2 seconds, but before we do that, I thought I'd kind of remind you of all the upgrades I've made to my 595 Competizione, because maybe this is the first time you're watching the Project Biposto series and you don't know about the sort of upgrades we've done. So yeah, let me whip around the car quickly, point those out, and then we'll head back out on track in this glorious sunshine when maybe there won't be too many other people out and about, and we can really enjoy ourselves. So the most noticeable and recent change to this car has of course been the way it looks. Logic did this amazing peelable paint, which is called Rosso Fuoco. It's a triple layered pearlescent red from Ferrari, but we also changed the wheels from black to silver. I have thought about sort of at various points adding the 70th anniversary wide body kit, or even maybe a sort of adjustable spoiler, but adding body parts to this car now will be quite difficult. I'll have to paint them the same Rosso Fuoco, which is an added expense and time, unless they're carbon fibre body parts, but fundamentally I don't think I'm going to change the way this car looks much moving forward. Mechanically, of course, we had the Forge Motorsport induction kit with the carbon intake, obviously all in the engine bay, shiny new intercooler, which I really like the fact that's kind of visible silver there, ties into those now silver wheels. One of the biggest changes we did mechanically was suspension. We added the Bilstein B14s, which sometimes you can sneak a peek of through the rims back here. They're kind of blue and they sometimes are very visible. The camera's not really showing them up right now. And then right down the back, of course, the Sinfonia exhaust, which unfortunately does still have these kind of fake Akrapovic carbon tips. I did want carbon tips, I just didn't want them to say Akrapovic. So at some point, DK Tuning are going to change those out. I just haven't had a chance to come and see them again. Oh, the M6 is leaving. See you guys. But yeah, I just, you know, this project was never about sort of creating a 750 horsepower, triple turbocharged, supercharged monster. It's about creating something that maybe even Abarth could have made themselves. And I kind of feel like we've achieved that. And today, in the sunshine, out here on track, it looks totally at home, in my opinion. So whilst I've been kind of getting overexcited about doing 55 miles an hour in my Abarth today, Andrew from Alexander's has been making me very jealous, going quite a bit faster in this lovely Huracan Evo. This is so nice.
Oh, wait. It's definitely got more talent than I have.
Yeah. I've been trying to work out of all the cars here today, I mean, the CS was what I was most jealous of, but after that, and I don't think I'd choose much over my Abarth.
Really?
I'm having so much fun in it. Well, yeah. let's see what this is all about. So yeah, I got to suction mount this camera now because we keep getting told off every time I try and hold this. The marshals come running over.
You didn't have a drone, did you? Definitely didn't have a drone.
Didn't have a drone. That was somebody else who very kindly sent me the footage afterwards. Okay, already quite different to my Abarth.
love the way it delivers the power. It doesn't end, and then it's like never ends.
Bloody heck! Oh, this is next level. Such a speed difference to the laps I've been doing today. I feel like I'm floating. Like it's a really weird sensation. Like you're going for a brake pedal being like, oh!
Although it's four-wheel drive, the front doesn't wash out like it does on a 911 Turbo.
From here, it feels super impressive. Oh my god! That is good stopping power as well. I'm a bit hot and sweaty. What a day. Huge thanks to Alexander's Prestige and of course Andrew just now for that Huracan ride. It's an amazing, fun, awesome day here at Blyton Park and great for me to finally get on track with this car. It is great. I'm so happy with it now, but I know I want to make a few little tweaks. But fundamentally, I just want to do more track days in it. That's the thing now. Now that I've done my first, I feel like I've, broken the duck or broken the back. Anyway, we're going to do more. We're going to do more, and this car is going to be so much fun to do them in. I think it needs to suit little sort of small tracks like this. It's no point in going to Silverstone or Spa in this little car. Little tight and twisty tracks. Maybe a UK circuit tour. I don't know. I'm getting carried away. I'm getting overexcited. But anyway, time now for me to leave and head back to London. I've got about a 3.5 hour drive, and I'm going to listen to the Germany-England game on the radio and enjoy it. But if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you stay subscribed for plenty more videos to come.